So happy 4th of July. I'm not sure how you're celebrating, but whatever it is, I hope that you guys have a great day. I hope you have a really good day. 250 years. Oh my gosh. That's a long time. How did we get here? Will the US survive? Oh, that's an interesting concept and an interesting question. I consider myself a true patriot. I hope you do as well. But the country I see today is not what I thought it was. I grew up thinking a certain way, and now all of a sudden, everything is so different. It's so different. Let's look at the numerology of the Declaration of Independence, born on 7/4/1776. Wow. Okay. So I even did a small chart for you so that you guys can see. We did for the 4th of July, we did the Declaration of Independence, red, blue, and then of course there's the white of the board itself. So yeah, the Declaration of Independence and the Declaration of Independence actually can calculate numbers, get a destiny number, a soul number, and a personality number. Then we also use the life path number of 7/4/1776 and created a maturity number as well. And what did we get of that? Oh, that's a karmic number, 13/4. And also there's all the pinnacles. So we'll go through all of that stuff. But if you want to take a screenshot, feel free. Let's see. Let me pull back, just a little bit. And if you want to get a screenshot, I think that's a good place to take it. Okay. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. So I had to redo a few things because I calculated it late at night and it's like, the calculations were off. So the destiny number I redid, and it is actually an 8. And again, I'll show you that. We get those numbers by calculating all of the letters in declaration and of and independence. So we got an 8 as the destiny number. And this is a great number, but it's starting to go overboard, maybe. The idea is to be in control, to be in power. We've seen our country be that. Good business decisions and financial success. Yeah, those have been here. We've had that happening for the United States of America. Is it through the United States of America or is it through the Declaration of Independence? I also did a video on the United States of America. We'll talk slightly about that. But yeah, that video, I think I have that in the end screen. So go ahead and take a look at that. Or take a look at my videos. It is in political um, videos, numerology videos. So, yeah, so this has been true for the United States until lately. Yeah, very lately. So now it feels like business is taking over in the form of corporations, and financial success is for the few, not the people, as it was intended in the Declaration of Independence. Let's face it, all men are created equal. Not happening anymore. Not really happening anymore. So it feels like the power and control are going a bit shadow. That is an interesting concept. We're going to talk a little bit more in another video about some shadow in the numbers. But also, there is a video that I did on shadow numbers that I will try to um, I'll have to look for that, but there, take a look at the videos that are in here because there is a shadow video on numerology. Um, so yeah, I did a video on the United States of America. We did talk about that briefly. And let's see. Oh, sorry. I'm all over the place here because I had to redo some numbers. And I think that the biggest thing about that is that I'm There was a destiny number for the United States of America that was a 10, a true 10. Just like the year 2026 is a true 10. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 adds to a 10. The 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it adds to a true 10. And that true 10 is karmic and it's about new beginnings. And that's where we are when we look at the United States of America and we look at the karmic energy or the good karma energy that we calculated in that destiny number, and it's the good karma energy we have in the year 2026. So we're kind of destined to get it right. Yeah, we're destined for that. So keep that in mind. So stay hopeful because I'm hopeful. So I hope you are too. I hope you are too. Okay, so let's look at the soul number for the Declaration of Independence. It's also an 8, the heart's desire. I love this. I love anything that has the heart's desire in it. I just think it's really special. So it's also an 8, so it feels like there's a recognition that the power and control has gone a little off the rails, off kilter. I'm not sure. Um, it feels like we know this now. I mean, it took us a little while. I think I've said this before. 2025 was a 9 year, so it was an ending year. That's universally. So that happened across the globe. It just happened. And when things end, it sort of puts you at a disadvantage because you're not ready for this. Let's face it, we weren't ready. We were like, wait a minute, what happened to life as we knew it? And then we got to the 2026, and it feels like the energy shifted. It feels like oh, I got chills just thinking about this. It feels like we were ready, as much as it still has taken us a little while, and we still feel like, oh my God, every time I turn around, there's something different happening. There's something new going on, whether it's climate change or global warming or geological changes or country changes, financial changes. It's all happening to us. I mean, it's happening. It's not necessarily happening to us. We have the power to get beyond this. So it feels like there's a recognition, yes, that things have, seems as if there's a desire to do it the right way. So we were just talking about that. So that's us. We have the desire to do it the right way. At least that's where I believe we are headed again. Again, I'm hopeful and I want you all to be too. I really do. Okay. So that said, let's take a look at let's take a look at the personality number for the Declaration of Independence. This is kind of interesting. It is a 9. So let's take a look at that real quick. Let's take a look at the board so you can see where we calculated all the numbers to get the personality number. So that's anything that was not a vowel, we calculated for the personality number. And remember, the personality is how something wants to be seen. So it's how we in this country look at what the Declaration of Independence is all about. That's very interesting. So the that's the let's see. Oh, I gotta find it. The personality number, I don't know why I keep getting that wrong, is a 9. So remember, and we just talked about this, is how other people view our Declaration of Independence, but it allows for a bit of truth, which is true. So it allows for what we want to be seen of the Declaration of Independence. It shows the good side. It's an ending number. It lets go of what doesn't serve us anymore. Is that what we're doing now? That's a good question. That's a really good question. So it's also a very humanitarian number. And I remember feeding the hungry across the world. I remember helping the sick across the world and feeling proud that this was my country, that they were handling some of the humanitarian efforts with our tax dollars that we agreed on. We agreed that that would work. There are some people that don't like that, and I didn't know that, but I do know it now. Not that I agree with them, but I do know it now. So, anyway, so the life path is A5, and that's an interesting number. So it's a 32-5, and we've done this before in the United States of America video because the date of is the same. The birthing date is the same. So it's 7/4/1776. That's the date that we use for the birthing. And interestingly enough, the Declaration of Independence was the birth of our nation. So that's kind of interesting. That makes perfect sense. It's all about freedom. It's all about change. It's all about adventure. Sure seems very fitting. That really seems very fitting. So let's take a look at the maturity number. So the maturity number is a 13/4. That's a karmic number. And I think the definition of this karma is that we have to work hard now because in the past we have not worked hard. The Declaration of Independence is 250 years old. In the past 250 years, we've worked to get where we're at, but we have not worked like we're going to work right now. Um, so pay attention to that. It's okay. So this is a karmic number, and let's talk about working hard. Our country was born through the Declaration of Independence, as we know, and we've taken these words for granted. We've taken the words of the Declaration of Independence for granted. It's just what we've done. That's how we were taught. You see, that's how we were taught. That's how our parents were taught. Anything about the Declaration of Independence, we pretty much knew on the 4th of July, and we were proud, and we had parades, and yeah, we felt blessed to be part of this country. And now, it's a little bit different. So now we're tasked with working harder to maintain our freedom, and we can do this. I really believe we can do this. So let's look at the pinnacles. The first pinnacle is an 11, and the challenge is the 3. So I'm going to share with you real quick. So here's the pinnacles and challenges on the bottom. The first one is an 11, and the first challenge is a 3. Yep, it's a 3. Take my word for it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah. And the second one is a 7, the 7 pinnacle. So we'll get to that. Um, It's a the 11 is a master number, as we know. So there's a bit of high highs and low lows in there, which kind of like, I would say that for a person, but it's been true of the people in this country as well. It's been true of the personality that is United States of America in the Declaration of Independence. We've had those high highs on the 4th of July, very high highs. And then shortly afterwards, maybe we've gone into a war, or maybe we've gone, and we start out very high, but we protest these wars. We don't like them. We because what happens is our young people pass away. We lose our young people. That doesn't seem quite fair, but okay. So I'm sorry I went off on a tangent there. But it's also an excellent source of creativity, that 11. So, spiritual creativity, it's an awesome start to our country's independence. And it is. It took us a little while to get where we needed to be, but we've gotten there. Um, and we're still growing in that. It's still taking time. We've had to like revisit what this is about and what that means. And yeah, so we're getting there. Um, so the three shows me that we had a tough start, a little bit of a tough start. The idea of joy of living was there, but it was a tough road. It was a very tough road. Courage was needed for sure, for sure. Communication was in its infancy. This is very, very true. Very true. So the second pinnacle was a seven, is a seven, and while the challenge was a one. Interesting. This was a time of research and analysis and being different, therefore a little bit more alone. That might have been in the early stages of this country. Again, keep in mind that the Declaration of Independence helped birth our country, right? We used it as a means to form the union that is the United States of America. Okay. So that's where, in the beginning, this was a time for marching to the beat of our own drum, fixing things so that our country was the way we wanted it to be, was the way that the founders wanted it to be. So we soldiered on. We soldiered on. This includes a desire to find a right ego. Learn to feel good about new ideas and show leadership qualities to allies. That's interesting. That's very interesting. If you look at it, if you look at the three challenge from the lens of a global lens. So the third pinnacle was a nine and the challenge was a two. This tells me that the country or the Declaration of Independence was about letting go of what didn't serve you anymore. Interesting. That took some time, I think, for if it was in the third pinnacle, letting go of what didn't serve them was all over the place. Um, it was in England, it was slavery, it was all kinds of things that didn't serve us anymore. So that's one good thing that this country has been about is letting go of what doesn't serve. So this feels like a positive ending. The two challenge is relationship oriented, cooperation and balance, humanitarian. That's kind of what the nine is about. It's about being humanitarian. So it's possible that was a phase of beginning some of our help towards, like Roosevelt put out some of the different helping tools like for the people, the masses, the 7-day work week, Social Security, some of the different things that he put in place so that we would be okay growing up, right? So that's interesting to think about. So finally, the fourth and final pinnacle is a one, while the challenge is a four. And again, that's interesting. So the one is a great number for the third or the fourth pinnacle because it's about leadership, it's about creativity, it's about idea orientation, new beginnings. I love it. I love that. So, and the year, again, we talked about this briefly, but the year 2026 also represents new beginnings. And the number one is is for actions. Actions. So, this fills my heart with good energy, really good energy. Now, that four challenge tells me that there will be some work involved. And we just talked about that maturity number, that 13-4. So not only is it in the fourth challenge, but it's also in the maturity number. So I feel like we're on to something. We know that we're destined for hard work. We've got that hard work going on right now. And I hate to tell you guys, but I think it's going to get harder. But it's going to feel like it belongs to us because we're going to have our country back. That's, yeah. So it may not be easy, but because it is here as a challenge, it will happen. Yeah. So our fate is never sealed. Remember that. It's never sealed. Our humble beginnings as a country and with our Declaration of Independence was thoughtful and it was hopeful. Yes. Again, I still feel hopeful. I hope you do too. We should still have hope and vote for change. Blessings to you all and happy 4th of July. Bye, everybody.